Well, Ralph, it seems like, there's some good news on the horizon of the economy. I know
The horizon.
Some people
Right
may,
over there.
that's right. Some people may be a little premature, think I'm premature on this, but some economists think we may already be in a recovery, and there's some signals.
Well, how can we be in a recovery if we were never in a recession?
Well,
we never had 2 consecutive periods of economic negative growth. In fact, we haven't had 1 quarter of negative growth.
No, 1% growth the last 2 quarters. That's you're absolutely right, Ralph. But when people are out of work, it's hard to make that argument if you're running for president, as you know. But you're actually accurate on that.
The press's complicity in this is just abominable. I mean, it's our job to tell the truth, not stroke people and make them, tell them what they want to hear.
But there are places,
I thought that's our job anyhow.
Well, it is. And there are places, of course, that are in a recession. In Michigan, for example, we're at 8% unemployment.
That's true.
But there you have a Democratic governor who's raising taxes. But let me go down a couple of points, Ralph, about the economy. Oil prices last week fell rather significantly. And there are some people who say they may fall more. At the same time, gasoline prices have fallen a little bit. And why? Because oil inventories have risen because more people are taking mass transit and are cutting back on driving, and gasoline inventories have risen. And when you have a supply of something more, the price falls. And that's what happened last week to some degree. So stocks also responded to this.
Markets are working?
Well, supply and demand does work.
Oh, my.
Isn't that a shocker? Yes.
And the government didn't do anything?
Well, we didn't. We just,
how does that work?
People change their behavior. But when the prices went too high.
Karl Marx would be so off.
One thing that's really great, Ralph, on the economy is, and this is the strongest pillar we have in our economy, as weak as it is, and that is exports. $1.6 trillion a year, the Commerce Department reported last week. And where we're having a trade surplus is among our free trade agreement trading partners. We actually have a surplus with them.
So what's the message there about the people who talk about the disadvantages and the ruin of free trade agreements and the ruinous effect on the future of the American economy and American jobs? What's the message there?
The message is trade and sell them all the stuff we can because it's going to be good for jobs here. And the countries that are poorest in the world are those who don't trade and have high tariffs, and the countries that are the richest in the world are those who have low tariffs and trade.
Yeah, now isn't it true, Don, that we have a pair of docs here? A paradox. That's not 2 doctors. It's a seeming contradiction.
I'm glad you explained that.
Yes. It's what the dollar's value is falling rapidly. I mean, it's really dismal compared to other currencies. So the euro is worth much more than the dollar. I mean, if you try to have vacation abroad, this costs you a bundle. But the upside of that is that American goods, American exports, are suddenly a bargain for the rest of the world.
And that's helping
and so our exports have shot up. And the imports, which are now more expensive because we have to pay for them in dollars, which aren't worth as much as euros.
And here's something that's good. In those exports, 65% of those exports, the Commerce Department said last week, are in manufacturing. So that's a good sign for manufacturers. Here's 2 more statistics.
So our export sector is growing. Is that the bottom line here, yes or no?
It is growing in terms of what we put out and sell. We sell more, we make more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what's falling is
in simple, plain English, is that good or bad?
Well, it's good that we're selling more, absolutely. And here's 2 more points.
Damn right it is.
Housing sector is really in the sinkhole, as we all know. But a little signal last week, the Commerce Department reported sales of single-family homes in June came in on an annualized basis now. It's an annualized rate of 530,000. That's over 500,000 homes. That is still very, very weak, but it was much lower than what the forecasts were. So that was a good sign. And also, getting back into durable goods orders and manufacturing, Commerce last month reported...
Durable goods, they don't include oranges.
They include things that
like
will last a long time,
and,
more than an orange.
And brake lines.
Refrigerators, things like that. They rose 1.1% in February, and that was one of the largest.
Why would anyone care?
I'm sorry, they 1.1% last month. That's the highest since February.
Why would anyone care? 1.1%.
Because manufacturing is still a major employer in this country. And so that's a good sign. So I think all in all, the economy is coming back.
So we're not a nation of hamburger flippers.
We're not. And we're going to see that Thursday when the GDP number comes in. And I'm predicting it's going to be at 2% or more.
GDP, do I know her?
That's the gross
domestic
economy.
product. What we
That's
used to
correct.
call the gross national product. But for some, change, right? Talk about change.
I think we're getting a sign we have to end this. So
Oh, we're a sign from what? You hear things from?
Yeah.
Right? Are you getting a message from somewhere?
So we'll do this again tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Great idea. How do you come up with these ideas?
See you then.
All right.